All right, so, Mr. Bader, we are being recorded.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm just going to be reading through a bit of a script here, and then so I'm going to read a couple things into the record, and then we'll start with the hearing, okay?
Sure.
All right, so this is Peter Rupert. Today is Monday, March 15th, and it is approximately 6:04 p.m. This is an evening hearing session of the Board of Assessment Appeals in conference room 2. Mr. Bader, I'm Peter Rupert. I'm one of the 9 members on the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to hear your appeal today, and as I mentioned, your hearing is being recorded. What I'm going to do is to start by stating a few things for the record and just correct me if anything is wrong, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is appeal number 52. It's for the property address 95 Sycamore Lane. The owners of this property are Brett and Sharina Bader, and the town has valued your property at $1,342,800. I'm seeing an ask amount of that same amount, so
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, that's correct. That's right. So let me go back, because that's actually what the town did not value. The town valued. No,
I think the town did value 13428, and I was requesting. I actually have new documentation and different requests that I'd like to submit.
Sure, that's fine. All right. So what's your new number that you're requesting?
1218872.
All right. Say that one more time.
1,218,872.
Okay, so that's 1,218,872.
Correct.
Okay, and let me get corrected on this sheet here. All right, great. So right now, what I'm going to do is confirm that you're the owner of the property. So if you would just state your name and say that you are the owner of this property.
Brett Bader, and I'm the owner of the property.
Okay. And I'm going to swear you in right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you raise your right hand, all right, do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. All right, thanks. So on that sheet that was given to you, if you would just sign that top line there, and I'll come and treat it for you.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Bader, this is your opportunity to provide testimony as to why you believe the market value on your home on October 1st, 2020 was $1,218,872 and not the value that was assigned by the town.
Mm-hmm.
Market value is what your home most likely would have sold for on that date, and please try to be as succinct as possible.
Sure. Can I submit these new documents? Because what you have is what I originally submitted was inaccurate. So I can go through that. The most notable thing that is, I think, driving the differential in valuation is the square footage of my home. The square footage that you have listed for my home is 4,854 square feet.
4,854, yeah.
I've had my home measured twice, and it's come out to 4,277 livable square feet.
Mm-hmm.
Based on that, I pulled 5 of the best comps sold during the period, that were in the neighborhood of where my home is, and the average selling price was $1,212,000. You have the list there, making the average per square foot selling price of $291. I then looked at the appraisal value that was provided by the town for those same 5 houses, and the appraisal value for those houses were $1,194,420, or $285 a square foot. So the averages for the sale price and the appraisal are within 2%. There are some variances individually by houses, which look strange to me, but that's not my concern. The averages are within 2% of the selling price and the appraisal price. So based on the corrected square footage of 4,277 square feet, I applied the average $285 per square foot appraisal value, and that's how I got to $1,218,872.
Okay.
What I was showing on that sheet is the original information I provided. I pulled the info from Zillow. Zillow is clearly way off, and I show the difference between Zillow, the Vision Gov site, and the variance. I show how it changes, and then I compare that information to what the town appraised the homes at. And there's a couple of outliers, one which is significantly lower, and one is significantly higher than what it's sold for, but the averages are what I was concerned with. And the averages seem to tie out. The selling price and the appraisal were nearly identical. If you look at all the comps that I put together, they average 4.4 bedrooms, 5.4 baths, and an acre. My house is 4 bedrooms, 6 baths, and 0.73 acres. The average square foot of the comps is 4,191 minus 4,277. I think they match very closely, and just to be in that same range of $1,218,000.
Okay, all right. And was this home? When did you purchase this home?
2011.
2011. Keep that. And so, in the last the 2015, did anyone come in and do a indoor? No. So no. Right.
But I've had it measured. I don't know if this is what the cause is, but the gentleman who built that house originally was going to have an additional loft area, and it was on the drawings, but he never built it.
Okay.
So I don't know if potentially that was submitted to the town, but he never built that loft area, even though it's on the architect's drawings. I don't know.
And would that accounted for this extra living area?
It's possible. I also think it might be the garage, because if you add the square footage of the garage to 4,277, it comes out to 4,854.
Okay.
So I don't know how that happened. I really don't. But when I was looking at the comp, the way that I understand it is when you value it, it's got to be the livable square footage. That's what is the house is the price per square foot for the selling is usually done by, and that's what I used.
Okay.
Just for the record, the original appraisal price per square foot that I got was $277 a square foot, but I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for the average that all the other comps got, so a little bit higher than the 277. That's the last measurement I had done.
And you said it was just updated numbers, correct?
Correct. So the first time I submitted it, I used the info from Zillow.
Okay.
And Zillow's wildly off, I come to find out. So I went back and I redid. The comps are still the same. I can use the same comps, but the information's different. So in my original submission, I asked for a lower appraisal because I was just using the information as I got it from Zillow, but it was wrong. So this request is actually higher because I was wrong the first time. The homes that, the information is just bad on Zillow. And I'm assuming the information on the Vision website is accurate.
All right, so let me just tell you, do you have any further questions for me?
I don't have any questions now.
Okay.
No.
Anything else? Okay. So, what these are the next steps. Okay. I'll present your petition to a majority of our Board of Assessment at a deliberation session for consideration and vote. You'll be notified by mail of our decision within 7 days of that happening. All decisions will be made in March, and if we're I'm going to say we're hoping that they'll all be in March, but we have a lot, so I don't know if that's going to happen. Right? If your appeal is denied, you can come back next year and appeal again. Okay? If you were granted a reduction, you cannot appeal again until the next reevaluation in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right? If you don't agree with the board's decision, you can then take the next step if you want and appeal your decision in court. And instructions on how to do that will be provided with your decision letter.
Okay.
And if you don't have any questions for me, then this concludes our hearing. And
is the spreadsheet I provided, does it make sense?
Well, yeah, it does.
Okay, I just want to make sure you want, because it's sometimes I want to make sure you understand what I was trying to show there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, if that's the case, I don't want to take up any more of your time than I need to. That's my request.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, do you want extra copies by any chance or not?
No, this is fine.
Very good.
Fine.
Have a lovely evening.
Yeah, you as well.
How many more do you have to do?
Actually, I think tonight's not bad. Maybe 8 more?
Sounds like a lot to me. All right. All right, cheers.
All right, good night.
Your 6:30 is here. I don't know if you want to take...
Yep, go ahead, send them up, thank you.
You can go on upstairs. That's upstairs, the first floor. Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
Old.
They're just getting steeper. Okay, you can sit right here.
Right here?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You're Miss Strange?
Yes, I am.
Nice to meet you. I'm Peter Rupert. I'm one of the Board of Assessment Appeals members. Okay?
Hi, Peter?
Yes, Peter.
Okay if I call you Peter?
Yeah, probably, I keep putting out my end. I never have a name tag, so I don't know. Maybe I have one somewhere. Maybe
I'll
I should
remember.
one. But, okay, so, Ms. Strange, I just want to point out that we are being recorded here, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read through a script. First, I'm going to start by reading some information into the record, and then we'll start your hearing, okay?
Okay.
So, this is Peter Rupert. Today is March 15th, Monday, March 15th. It is approximately 6:22 right now, and this is an evening hearing session of the Board of Assessment Appeals in Conference Room 2. As I said, I'm Peter Rupert. I'm one of 9 members on the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'm going to hear your appeal today, and as I mentioned also that it's being recorded. Right. And right now I'm going to state a few things for the record and just correct me if anything is inaccurate, okay? So this is appeal number 91, and it's for 121 Henderson Road.
Correct.
Okay. And you are the owner, Margaret Strange?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And the town has valued your property at $529,900.
Correct.
And you're asking for a reduction to the amount of $482,000.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So if you would just confirm for me that you are the owner of the property, just state your name for the record and whether you are the owner of the property.
I'm Margaret Straining, and I'm the owner of this property, 121 Henderson Road.
Great. And now I'm going to swear you in.
Okay.
If you would raise your right hand. Right? Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. So they provided you a paper when you came in, so just sign the top line, please.
I just wanted to say thank you for taking time to listen to me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'll just kind of explain how this is going to work here. All right, this is going to be your opportunity right now to provide testimony as to why you believe the market value of your home on October 1st, 2020 was $482,000.
Correct.
And not the value that was assigned by the town. Market value is what your home most likely would have sold for on that date, and please try to be as succinct as possible. Okay?
Yes.
All right. When you're ready.
Okay, do you have the papers that I need? Because I made more copies in case you...
Oh, okay. No, I have them. I mean, if there's something new, I have the, the application, the assessor's office, and then the comp list, and then the field cards.
Okay, I didn't know it sometimes.
Yep.
I just made an extra copy.
Okay, no, thank you.
Okay. what I'm stating is that mine is that first comp on the worksheet,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one is just a few houses away from me. It's got 1808. Its comp is full. Market value is 463,400. It's got 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, air conditioning. It's larger house, and it's 4 bedrooms.
This is 221 Henderson.
Correct.
For the record, yeah.
Mine is a 3 bedroom. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is the house right next door to me.
All right, this is 111 Henderson.
Correct. That's got 1,841 square feet, and the fair market value is 497. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and air conditioning, and it's got a 3-car garage with a office and a space. So that's bigger than me. And the next one is 81 Henderson Road. That's got 1,810. The comp is 484,300. It's 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, and it's larger than my house. I mean, they're like right next to me.
And you said large square feet. All right, so no AC on that one.
Pardon me?
No air conditioning
No,
on that
it's
one.
windows, window units.
Okay.
They're built into the house, but
Mm-hmm.
not.
Okay. And do you want to talk about the recent sales?
Yes, because they were pretty recent.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they might help. At 91 Henderson Road,
Mm-hmm.
sold for $315 on May 22nd, 20. It was appraised full market at $478,200, and that's 4 bedrooms, and it's a comparable square foot, just a little bit smaller, but it only got $315. And then the other comp is 199 Henderson Road, sold for $405 on July 9th. It was appraised for $513,200. It is smaller than mine. It's 1338. That's my case.
All right. Well, I mean, it's helpful when you provide comps like that.
I tried to get the ones closest because the other side of the street isn't on 95. I'm on 95. So I figured to stick to my side of the street.
So all 5 of these are on your same side of the street?
On 95 side. I mean, what they sold for and what they were appraised for is a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I hope I stated my case
Okay.
clearly.
Yeah, you made it,
Yeah. I tried to average out, to get as close to comps, pretty close.
And so is that how you got to the number 482? So
Yes.
Is by making, an average of,
Right.
okay.
Well, I tried to, take the pluses and the minuses from the field card,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I think.
Okay.
Truthfully, I mean, that's fairly what I think.
Wait, so can you just explain to me, when you said you took the pluses and minuses, what do you mean?
Whether there were how many bedrooms, how many baths,
Okay.
air conditioning, garage.
All right. So when you came up with your average, though, did you average your, whatever the appraised value was of the home? How did you come to your average of 482?
Well, I looked at the ones that were sold, but they were so low.
Yeah.
But I did, that's what they sold for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then on the other ones, I took, like, I compared them,
Okay.
for bedrooms, baths, and that's how where I felt my house fell in.
Okay. All right. Anything else that you would like to
Well,
present?
technically, I'm just trying to hold on and keep my house. It's like, as you get older, it's hard. I'm going, wow, that's going to really kill me with taxes.
Yeah.
But I know I got to realize this is what it, goes for, so you got to pay the piper. But just let it be fair.
Right.
Why would mine be so much higher?
Okay. So, thank you for presenting to me. What I will do is I will present your petition to a majority of our board, and at a deliberation session, we'll consider it and vote on whether to grant or not. What will happen is you'll be notified by mail of our decision within 7 days of that being made.
When is the meeting?
I can't unfortunately tell you. Just we are trying to group them sometimes by neighborhoods, just so that we have a a better understanding of everything. But so I apologize for that. Although they are being recorded, and I'm not exactly sure how they're listed, but that you can find your deliberation to hear what's being said or what was said during that time. Right. If your appeal is denied, then you are able to come back next year and appeal again. Okay. If you are granted a reduction, then you will not be able to appeal until the next reevaluation in 5 years. Okay. And if you don't agree with the decision that was made, either because what can happen is we can either grant the whole thing or a part,
Correct.
and but that would preclude you from coming back for an appeal.
Correct.
But that does not preclude you from saying, well, I'm not satisfied. I want to go to court and bring it to your appeal to court, and we will provide instructions on how to do that if you're inclined in your decision letter. Okay.
Okay.
So if you don't have any further questions, then this concludes our hearing.
And you think I covered enough? Or?
Well, you gave me comps, which is
right.
which is helpful place to look. All right.
Okay.
So I appreciate that.
Great. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Keep warm. It's
cold out
here.
right?
Whoa.
Wasn't ready for this.
I know. Good luck.
All right. Thank you. Good night now.
Good night.
You don't get me today, though.
All right.
You doing all right?
Yep, how about you?
Good, good.
You too. Take care now.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good, good to see you again.
Well,
Here for 271 Henderson Road
okay.
and 449 Mill Plain Road.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any particular one you want to do?
I was going to do the 271 Henderson Road first.
Alright. It's a little more involved in those. Okay, got the sworn statement signature, affidavit, a little cheat sheet, couple of field cards, and then one page. I might be missing. Oh yeah, most important part, which is this map. Put that over here. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let me just read a couple things into the record here. This is Peter Rupert. It's Monday, March 15th, 2021, and it's approximately 6:45 p.m. This is an evening hearing session of the Board of Assessment Appeals in conference room 2. So I'm just going to state a few things for the record. This is appeal number 591 for 271 Henderson Road. The owner of this property is Charles McGoldrick,
Yes.
the third, and town has valued this property at $717,300, and they're asking, Mr. McGoldrick is asking for a reduction to $550,000. Attorney Chris Russo is here representing him. Okay, so Attorney Russo has presented a couple additional documents for the file. All right, so when you're ready.
Yes, okay. So, Chris Russo, Lindsay LLC for Charles McGoldrick. Property is 271 Henderson Road. The big issue, I did a comparative analysis, but the big issue that I see is that the land calculation, I believe, is way off on this property. The town has a lot area of 35,250 square feet. I supplied a map. It's not official, clearly, but I used the town's GIS system, which has a calculation tool. I was trying to track down a survey. I haven't been able to find one that would give a more solid number. But even with this tool that the town website has, I measured out I tried to follow along the property lines, and it comes to 22,275.
So what was it you said the town has?
The town has it as 35,250.
50, and you're saying that...
That's what it says on the vision appraisal card.
Uh-huh.
That's what it says. And so to me, it seems I don't know what the exact figure of the lot is, but just by this thing, it's 13,000 square feet off. And I think it makes sense because when one of the things when I looked at this is just the land appraisal is so high on this piece. It's 475,000, which, I mean, you know, there's 2-acre lots in Greenfield Hill where I think you'd be lucky to have that, you know, to get something that, you know, that big of a price for it. And it is on the water, but it is the closest property to the highway. So, you know, yes, you get to look out on the water, but you also get to look at exit 20. So, I mean, it's, you know, it's literally right there. It's what you look out is to the exit ramp. I think 475,000 for the land is just way high, but I think that's partially because I think there's just the numbers incorrect. And on the field card, it's funny because usually on the field card it lists the land units. And there's down at the bottom of the first page, you know, it shows single family, and then under land units it has 0. But then when you go over to the parcel total land area, which is the calculation on the bottom, it says 0.8092. So that's the 35,000. You know, that comes out to 35,000. And so, yeah, I just think the number is way off. On comparison, the property to the north of it, across on Henderson Road, which unfortunately in the map, I was trying to get the highway and our property and the property to the north, but it's cut off a little bit. But if somebody ever looked at the map of that property in its entirety, it looks to be roughly the same size as our property. Ours is probably a little bit longer because we actually finished this triangle. It's kind of, you see it on this plan, the like triangle is like a little bit cut off on it, and I think that makes up for the difference. But their land is at 15,866 square feet. And so if these numbers were correct, our lot would be double the size of that lot.
I'm sorry, do you know what the number is on that?
Yeah, so 252 Henderson Road, which is right across the street. It's another waterfront property. You would just be, if you looked at both of them, there's no way our piece is double the size of 252. So, yeah, I'm not sure why it's so far off. It looks like on the GIS, like they're including part of the water into it, and maybe that's why it like extends out into the water. I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but you know, it's definitely not 35,000 square feet land area. So I think that makes a big difference to the number. I did a comparable analysis. I looked at properties on Henderson Road that have sold. I put 252 on there, which is the one that's across the way, just because I think they're very similar to each other. Unfortunately, the sale was in 2018, so it's a little bit of ways. But that one sold for $590,000. You know, so basically, yeah, $127,000 less than what we're valued at. So I don't think, I certainly don't think, we would have gone up that much in value. But the other ones that are more recent comps that actually sold, during the pandemic, 199 Henderson Road, which sold in July 2020, that sold for $405,000. It is not, it doesn't have the same size as us. which is why we think it's worth, ours is worth more for sure. And we're also on waterfront, where they're not. 91 Henderson Road has a lot. It's similar in that it's 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1 half bath, which is the same as us. It sold for $315,000, and that was in May 2020. Our condition is definitely better than theirs, and our size is a little bit bigger, and our lot is bigger, and we're on the waterfront. But it's actually, it's only off in living area about 400 square feet, and it's the same characteristics. So I thought it was a pretty good comp. And then so I just, I did the same thing which I've done on all these, which is just make an average of these other 3 properties around where they're $ per square foot of living areas and apply it to ours to get a revised figure. And I took the $ per square foot that existed for the site and I times it by our lot area, what I think is our lot area. And that kind of shows how you could, how the appraisal would be adjusted down. It comes to, if you add these 2 figures up, it comes to just under $500,000. I think, our condition is probably a little bit better than the others, so going up to something like $550 is probably is an appropriate number, appropriate adjustment up from that. But I think the main thing on this is just that the land is it seems to be off by quite a bit.
Oh, I'll put, that would be my first thing, is put a request in to get that clarified.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep trying to find a plan or some type of survey, that actually, has a surveyor stamp on it. I mean, because obviously, this isn't scientific, but I think it's the fact that the gap is so big, it just shows to me that there is something off. It's just a question of getting the right number. And that's basically it.
And there are 2 buildings on?
Yeah, there's a separate garage, right, which I think is another thing that a lot of the houses on Henderson Road have separate garages, but yeah, there is. Let me see if the wrong field where in here. Okay, 271 Henderson. Yeah, it's a garage with a 3/4 story above it. Yeah.
All right, so you know that I'll present this to the board, and we will provide a decision. And once that decision is made, voted made, we'll send it just a notice. Okay.
Great, thank you.
All right, so that's the hearing for 271 Henderson Road is concluded. We're going to move on now, and I'll just have to state the time again here, to, this is 449 Mill Plain Road?
Yes. Statement, affidavit, and then the appraisal, right, along with the field cover of the property.
So this is Peter Rupert. It's Monday, March 15th, 2021, and it is approximately 6:58 p.m. And this is an evening hearing session of the Board of Assessment Appeals in Conference Room 2. I'm going to say a few things for the record. All right, this is appeal number 446 for property address 449 Mill Plain Road. The owner is Sturgis Cottage LLC, Sturgis Cottage LLC.
Mm-hmm.
The town valued this piece of property at $1,620,600. They're asking for a reduction to $1,100,000, and attorney Chris Russo will be representing them.
Again, Chris Russo with Russo and Rizzi LLC for the Sturgis Cottage LLC. So I submitted an appraisal. It's for $1.1 million is the opinion of value as of October 1st, 2020. It was prepared by Daniel Conti with Baldwin Pearson and Company Incorporated. This is a house that I assume everybody in Fairfield knows. Very visible. That, definitely a trafficked area. I think the big source of the difference from talking to the appraiser is the condition of the interior. And he lists it as fair condition. It needs a lot of work. It's one of the traps with these old homes. It's a very large house. It's a historic house, which means to fix it up is quite expensive. It's a lot. He put on, what page is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, page 5 of the appraisal. Bottom of the page actually says page 1 of 2, but it's page 5 of the whole thing I am. He put about the condition, he says the subject was considered to be in fair condition. The third floor has 5 bedrooms and a book tower. It was not added into the square footage as there is no heat or plumbing. Overall, the subject needs major improvements, which are extremely expensive. It would require that the home be restored to 1834 vintage. On the next page, he listed comps. He picked other historic homes. This house is bigger than all of them. I mean, it is a very large home. But again, it's one of these things where when it's historic and you have to restore it to that and it's not in good shape in the interior, it really hurts the value of it. It's a daunting project, I think, for anybody to take on. So that is that's the essence of it. He lays out everything else, and I basically defer to his appraisal on everything, but I know that that's the main gist of it is that it's not in good condition on the inside, and it's going to need a large amount of repair.
So I'm just going to say there's not, really, looking at it is the value of the home, right? The land is not, there's not a question on the...
No, the land, I don't think it's not the land, it's just the condition of the home.
Yeah, it's an amazing looking place.
No, it's a very impressive house from the outside. It's obviously, one of the landmark homes in Fairfield, but it's going to take it's going to take a lot of work. There is the only thing with the only thing with the location and the land is that this is just it's a very heavily trafficked spot compared to its comparables. I know he listed it in his comparable notes where he just noted the traffic. It's definitely a house that's got a lot of traffic that goes through it. By it, being at that intersection, it's very visible for all that. That's it.
All right. So, okay, you know that we'll make it, we'll deliberate and make a decision, and then notify you within 7 days. All right?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
your time again.
All right. Have a good evening.
You too. Good luck with the rest of it.
Thank you. Hi there. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Come on in.
And you?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. Just
Take
go
a
ahead,
seat here.
Take a seat right there. Yep, that's fine. Just when we thought winter was gone, right?
Oh, March.
I know, it's March, right?
This is March.
What happened? So, all right, so, you're Mr. Epifano?
Epifano, yes,
Epifano,
Edmund.
okay. All right, so, Mr. Epifano, I am, going to read a couple things into the record, so we're being recorded right now, okay? And I'm gonna read a couple things into the record, and then we'll get to, in just a moment.
Okay.
All right. So, my name's Peter Rupert, and today is March 15th, 2021, and it is approximately 7:06 p.m.
Peter
Rupert, R-U-P-E-R-T.
Rupert.
Okay. And this is an evening hearing session of the Board of Assessment Appeals in Conference Room 2. So, as I said, Peter Rupert, I'm one of 9 members on the Board of Assessment Appeals, and I'll be hearing your appeals tonight. And as I said, it is being recorded. So, I'll just state a couple things for the record, and just if there's something that doesn't sound right, please let me know. So this is appeal number 466.
Correct.
It's for, the property address is 166 Old Mill Road.
Correct.
The owners of this property are Edward and Ellen Epifano.
Correct.
And the town has valued your property at $962,300, and you are asking for a reduction to $830,000.
Correct.
Okay? And, okay, so if you would just confirm for me now that you are the owner of this property, just by stating your name and that you are the owner.
Edward Epifano.
And then you're
As
the
owner.
owner, okay. All right, and Mr. Epifano, I'm just going to swear you in now, and if you would just put your right hand up. All right, do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Great, thank you. So, now, if you would just sign the top line there, please.
It's 15th day.
Yep. And then I just need to sign the bottom there. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Epifano, this is your time right now, your opportunity right now to provide testimony as to why you believe that the market value of your home on October 1st, 2020 was $830,000 and not the value assigned by the town. Market value is what your home most likely would have sold for on that date. Please try to be as succinct as possible.
Yes, as attached to my petition to the Board of Assessment, I included 9 properties on my block that had their appraised values go down since the last assessment. And some went down as much as 15%, and these were on my block. In addition to that, attached to my petition, I illustrated 4 sales that were within 1 year of when I got the notice of the new assessment, of same size square footage, same size lot, all less than a mile from my house. Those sales are noted on the hearing form. I can...
So just tell me which one, I just want to make sure I have the right sales. I mean, I'm seeing right here, so you're saying the 1130, so it's 1459 Mill Plain Road? I had a few.
Yes, yes.
That's not you. Oh, yeah, okay, so 1459 Mill Plain Road, that's one sale, all right? And the other one is, another one is 80 Stony Brook?
Correct.
All right. All right, and then 220 High Meadow?
Correct.
And 442 Bronson.
Yes. My information came from Vision Appraisal,
Okay.
as well as multiple lists. I arrived at my value of $830,000 based on these past sales, which are shown on the hearing form. Plus the house that was sold directly across the street from me that was at the end of 2019.
What number is that?
That's on the second attachment, 177 Old Mill Road. It's about the middle of the page.
Mm-hmm.
It sold and closed November 2019 for $826,000. It's equal acreage and approximately the same square footage.
And so you said you got the 830 by, just review that with me again, how you did that.
Yes, of the illustrated 4 sales on the informal hearing form, which range from $730,000 to $822,000. Additionally, the house directly across the street from me sold for $826,000.
Okay. All right. All right. Anything else?
Just those supporting documents showing 5 actually completed sales, and from Vision Appraisal, where 9 homes on my block had their appraised value and consequently assessed value go down.
And these are the 9 right here, 21 Old Mill, 51
Yes.
Old Mill, 71 Old Mill, 91, 101, 201, 208, and you have 177. I'm going to skip over that one, but 201, 208, 240, and 278.
Correct.
All right. Okay. All right. Is there anything else you think I need to know?
I think that says it all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's helpful when people bring information like this.
It's the numbers that dictate the issue.
So, all right, so let me just explain how this process is going to go from here. All right, I'll be presenting your petition to a majority of our board at a deliberation session for consideration and vote. You'll be notified by mail when we make that decision within 7 days of it being made. And then we're hoping that all our decisions will be made in March. I can't guarantee that. We got a lot this year. If your appeal is denied, you can come back next year and appeal again. If we can grant you your appeal in full or in part, if we do either of those, then you would not be able to appeal again until the next revaluation in 5 years. All right. And if you're not satisfied with either of those outcomes, then you always can take this to court and appeal your decision in court, and then instructions on how to do that will be sent with your decision letter. All right.
So you actually have 3 choices based on your committee that you can either approve my request
In full.
You can deny it outright, and you can partially approve it.
Correct.
If it's partially approved, then I can't come back next year.
Correct.
I have to wait for the next 5-year cycle.
Right, that's correct. So, I mean, I will be, honest. I mean, we've had situations like that where, someone said, oh, well, here's a number, much smaller number than the homeowner was hoping for, and we said, well, we feel like we'd be locking them in by denying, or granting that, and so we've not granted that, smaller amount of relief, just because we don't want to, we didn't want to, lock them in, right, to allow them to come back with, more information and, try to make their case in a strong way.
Is the information that I presented in my petition sufficient in your opinion?
Well, I have to go look through it more, more thoroughly, but, you've given, the fact that you've given me 5 comps that sold during that period, the base year, it's very helpful, not everyone comes that prepared, and, now were you granted any relief in the informal hearing? I can look that up, but.
No. Actually, in the informal telephone conversation, nothing was said other than my petition was complete and concise. In fact, the person I spoke to, who was conducting the townwide assessment, said that he was not an appraiser, that all he does in their office is accept the petition, review it for completeness, and passes it on.
So you never received any kind of decision in terms of an informal?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure why that.
I think they were just flooded
Yeah.
with petitions,
Yeah,
and they only had so much staff, so all he did was acknowledge it was sent in on time, and that it was complete, and he was going to pass it on to the appraiser because he was not an appraiser.
all right. So if you don't have any questions for me, then this will be, this will conclude our hearing here. If you have something else that you'd like to...
No, I think this does it all, unless you feel that there's more information needed.
I'm not going to say, what I stated is I'm going to look at your comps that you provided and, go through them a little bit more thoroughly and,
Sure.
Make the recommendations, that I come up with to my board. And I don't want to say that either. It's not really that I make the recommendation. I mean, I will come in, because I'll have the most information and I'll share that, but then, we go back and forth asking questions. People will look at the field cards and, the comps and, provide additional thoughts about it, and then we'll come to the decision. All right?
Very good.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, and I appreciate your effort.
You're welcome.
Peter, your 8:15 is here, 15 minutes early. Do you want to take her and?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi,
Hello, how are you?
good. It's my spot.
Yes, right over here, please. Yep. Do I pronounce Tom?
Yes, what's this? Do you
Tom,
want
how are
this?
you?
I'm fine.
In just a moment.
Okay, thanks.
Hold on.
Nice. Nice and cozy in here, thank you. Feels good.
So, well, it says it now. Okay. So we are being recorded here, all right, this hearing is being recorded.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read a couple things into the record right now,
Okay.
and then we'll get started with the hearing in just a
Sure.
moment. So this is Peter Rupert. Today is March 15th, Monday, March 15th, and it is approximately 7:48 p.m. And this is an evening hearing session of the Board of Assessment Appeals in Conference Room 2. So, Ms. Thumb, I'm Peter Rupert. I'm one of 9 members on the
Okay.
Board of Assessment Appeals, and I'm going to hear your appeals tonight. And as I mentioned, we are being recorded. What I'm going to do right now is to state a few things into the record. If anything is incorrect, just let me know.
Okay.
All right, this is appeal number 129.
I'm glad it's on here. It's correct.
Okay.
Yes,
For 45 Sturgis Road. The property address is 45 Sturgis Road.
correct.
And you are the owner, Barbara Thumb.
Yes.
And the town has valued this property at $888,300.
Correct.
And you are asking for a reduction to $855,000.
Well, yeah, I really got interested in these appraisals because I can't figure out how they are compiled. And do you have one of these that I made up? If you don't, I have an extra, Peter.
Let me take a look.
'Cause
This here.
Yep, that's it. Okay.
So just, let me, so if you have another number then that you,
Well, yeah, I compared my house, 45 Sturgis Road, with 193 Sturgis Road and 279 Sturgis Road. And those are basically apples. I would say 45 and 193 are max. 279 may be a gala or some other. It's slightly different, but it's on the same street, etc.
all right.
And
So all I want to do right now though is,
yeah,
if you have a number that if you want to change this number, that what you're asking for a reduction to,
oh.
you know, and then I will go through all, you know,
Oh,
through your
okay.
argument.
I didn't really. I had put down 855,000
Correct.
on this because I could have had a realtor come, but I can't deal with that. I mean, once they start nipping, the only two ways I'm getting out of that house is dying or dementia. So I don't want to be telling them that maybe. So that's.
Okay.
I just figured, well, that sounds like a good number,
Okay.
854,000.
I mean, you know, listen, if you think another number, you know, while you're presenting here would be better, then I can break that down.
Okay.
Right? I just wanted you to know that. So, but right now, what I need to do is set a little script I need to follow.
Sure.
All right.
That's why I got this too, because I did this once, I think, a gazillion years ago.
So you did.
But I don't remember being here, so maybe it wasn't for this kind of thing. I thought I was over on the other side of town.
Yeah. So, if you would just confirm for me, for the
Yeah.
record, that you are the owner, if you would just state your name for the record and whether you are the owner of
Okay.
45 Sturgis Road.
Okay. I am Barbara W. Thumb, and I own 45 Sturgis Road in Fairfield.
All right, great, thank you. And then if you would put your right hand up, I'm going to swear you in. All right. If you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay,
I do.
thank you. So, Ms. Thumb,
Yes.
right now, this is going to be your opportunity to provide testimony
Okay.
as to why you believe the market value of your home on October 1st, 2020 was $855,000, okay?
Okay.
And not the value assigned by the town. Market value is what your home most likely would have sold for on that date. Please try to be as succinct as possible. All right?
Okay. Let's go on the sheet that I sent with my packet.
Okay.
Let's go down under 45 Sturgis Road. In 2020, the appraisal was $888,300. And in 2019, it was $879,600.
Okay, so just give me one
Oh, sure.
moment here. Just want to make sure I get everything. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry, I forgot one other matter.
Oh, okay.
That form that they gave you as
Yes.
you walked in, if you just sign the top line, and then I'll
Where's the signature?
Yeah, and I'll come and collect it from you.
Okay.
All right, so we're on this,
This sheet, I have all the property cards for this stuff, but
Okay.
that's so much flipping that I decided to put everything from the property cards on
Okay.
this sheet so we could look. Anyway, in the previous appraisal was $879,600. So in between the past appraisal and 2020, my property went up the appraisal increased $8,700. Now, and if we look down through here, when we go to a 193 Sturgis, we'll go down the entire column and we'll see that these two houses are very similar in age, minus 34, this is 27. But let's go back. They were appraised at $856,900. Their previous appraisal was $870,500. So that's quite a big difference. And their property was the appraisal went down $13,600 in that 5-year period. Now, in 2019, that previous appraisal, between my property and their property, there was a $9,100 difference. In 2020, between 45 Sturgis Road and 193, there's a $31,400 difference. In other words, my property is valued $31,400 more than theirs. And if we go down through, my land didn't grow, nor did their land grow. Their house didn't grow, nor did my house grow. We both, surprisingly enough, have slate roofs. That was one thing that made me think that this would be a good comparison. Everything we go down through, they have gas heat, I have oil heat, or oil fuel. Then we go down, they have 4 bedrooms, and I only have 3. Not that that's, something to be crying milk about, but supposedly 4 bedrooms are better than 3. They have 9 rooms, and I have 8. Now, both bathroom styles are average. I don't know, I've never been in their house, but mine is average. My bathrooms are the same as when the house was built, 1934. My kitchen and their kitchen are both average. We both have 1 kitchen. I have 2 fireplaces. They only have 1. Neither one of us have AC. When it comes to a garage, my garage is attached. They have a garage someplace on the property. So that's apples to apples, Mac apples, let's say. Then we go to 279 Sturgis Road. This is an anomaly. I can't figure this one out. Oh, and by the way, I should have said this before, 193 sold in January of 2020, and it only sold for $800,000. Now, at 279 Sturgis Road, we go down through, and this is really kind of crazy. They went from $828,100, or $828,100. That was their original appraisal. Their present appraisal is $857,000. It's only a $1,000 difference from 193, but it's quite a bit different from 45. In other words, 279 increased, the appraisal increased by $28,900. I'm kind of arguing their case, too, but that seems like an awful lot. However, if we go down through, let's look at that place. It has central air. It has bedrooms 4. I'm only highlighting the stuff everybody wants. It has a gunite pool. It has a garage. And it doesn't have as much property as either 45 or 193. But everything else is the same. And they have this house sold on the 19th of January for $1,070,000. Now, it also, let me show you.
What was the,
Yes,
just tell me what the sale date on that one was?
it sold on January 19th, 2021. And by some fluke, I have it, and now we all know realtors, the things are beautiful when a real. And here is their kitchen is described as average. This is the write-up. It's the beautiful custom stone pool that heats up. Well, we don't care about that. Special master bedroom wing, a children's or guest room wing, makes this a pretty colonial, a unique one. This feature is found in high-end homes. High-end finishes in this average kitchen include custom millwork, both in the kitchen and the bedroom, raised panel design by well-known local designer, high-gloss European finishes on cabinets, marble tops on the island in the kitchen, and also the bathroom vanities. It has beautifully finished Jacobean hardwood floors, New East terrace with mahogany floors, and back mahogany porch with columns with perfect view of perfect yard with meandering boxwoods to create a garden feeling. I hate to say my view, and I'm not complaining, but when I look out my kitchen window, I see I-95 with audio. And why did we do that 30 years ago? Because that was a house we could afford, because we could see I-95 with audio. But, you know, and it doesn't bother me. I don't care, because I have the windows open, I'm used to it. But when they described for $279 as average, that's not an average kitchen. That's pretty nice. I would say it's above average. I consider my kitchen average. It's got the floor that I think the people installed in 1950. Then, just wanted for fun, sort of, this kind of gets like a disease after a while. You start looking, you can't stop. But anyway, I was reading the Sunday paper, and there was a house at 361 Brookbend Road. And I learned from the paper that that's like living in Greenfield Hills, but downtown Fairfield. It's sort of like the plum in the bowl of prunes, as far as I can see. This was appraised at $1,104,600. But in 2019, the appraisal was $1,347,200. So it went down 200. The earlier appraisal was $242,000 more than the present appraisal for. I don't get it. Everything else is just about the same. Let's see, they've got central air. They got the hardwood floors. They don't have a slate roof. That might be a blessing. I don't know. But so, you know, I guess I'm just confused. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad, thank you for listening. Because I went online sometimes earlier when I was fussing around. This was before we were even being newly appraised. And I couldn't figure anything out. And even with this, with all my numbers, I still can't see how some of these conclusions are drawn, I guess. That's what I'm saying. Now, this house at 361 Brookbend is on the market for $1,750,000. However, it's only appraised for $1,104,600. It was closer to its market price in its earlier appraisal, the one that's listed for 2019 and beyond.
So can I ask you a question? What, like, how did you come to, your number of, because this is a reduction, you're seeking a reduction of about $33,000.
Yeah.
So how did you come to that?
Well, I noticed that the difference between, let me get my numbers here. The difference between my house, 45, and 193 is $30,000,
Okay.
just about. Yeah, it is. In fact, that would make.
Your next two are here.
Okay, all right.
Oh, so we better wrap it up. Thank you.
So, all right, so you're saying that you got that number taking the difference?
Yeah, I sort of figured, that's, I'm not a person who ever even goes to open houses, so that part of it, it's sort of a stab in the dark, but I figured, well, if, they're sold for $800,000, market's a little better now, so I can see where my appraisal might be $850,000, but $888,000 I think's a little high when I look at the comparison.
Sure. Okay. All right, so can I just explain what our process is from here? All right, so what's going to happen is I'm going to present your petition to the rest of the board. We'll deliberate, make a decision, and then you will be notified by mail within 7 days of us making that decision. All right, we're hoping that all these will be made in March, but
It was, you can't tell.
So if your appeal is denied, you can come back next year and appeal again. All right? If we do grant you a reduction, then you would not be able to come back until the
I won't be coming back probably even. I would like the reduction to be fair, but.
All right. And then if you don't agree with our decision at all, then you can take the next step and appeal your decision in court, and instructions on how to do that are going to be included in your decision letter. So just, those are some options for you, okay?
Yeah.
All right. And it is possible that we can grant you the full amount that you've asked for or a lesser amount.
Right.
So just letting you know that, all right, Park? So anyway, if you don't have any further questions, then we're concluded here.
Okay, I have copies coming up out of my ears.
Sure.
Would you like this?
Yeah,
I'll keep this one.
Sure.
But here's an extra one I made in case
Great.
that one gets. So if other people are looking at it.
Yep.
To me, it made it easier, kind of clear up my head. But,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Thanks for coming in, presenting.
I'll put my coat on down there and then they can come up. Thanks again now. Bye.
All right. Have a good evening. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, please sit right here.
Oh, thanks so much.
Okay. So let me just tell you, we are going to be recorded here.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to read a couple things into the record, and then we'll start the hearing.
Sure.
So this is Peter Rupert. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2021, and it is approximately 8:09 p.m. This is an evening hearing session of the Board of Assessment Appeals in Conference Room 2. Thank you for coming tonight. I'm Peter Rupert. I'm one of 9 members on the Board of Assessment Appeals.
Okay.
And I'm going to hear your appeal today.
Sure.
And as I mentioned, it is being recorded. I'm just going to state a couple things right now, just for the record, and just let me know if something is wrong, okay, and inaccurate. So this is appeal number 622 for 896 Mill Plain Road.
Let me just double check. Yes.
Okay.
This
And
is appeal number what?
622.
Yes.
Okay. And then for 890, the property address is 896 Mill Plain Road.
Correct.
All right. And the owners of this property are Caesar and Vesselina Duelis.
Correct.
All right. And the town has valued this piece of property at $516,400, and you're asking for a reduction to $460,000.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. And if you would just confirm that you are the owner of this property, just by stating your name for the record, and whether, and just say, you're the owner of 896 Mill Plain Road.
Sure. My name is Vesselina Duelis, and I'm the owner of 896 Mill Plain Road.
All right, thank you. And if you would put your right hand up, I have to swear you in here, okay? Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right,
I swear.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, Ms. Duelis, this is the process here, all right?
Okay.
This is going to be your opportunity to provide testimony as to why you believe the market value of your home on October 1st, 2020 was $460,000 and not what the town has agreed at, okay?
Yeah.
And market value is what your home most likely would have sold for on that date, and just please try to be as succinct as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, great.
So basically, what I have sent you via email, and I'm going to give you at the end of this conversation,
All right.
is a printout with 3 comparables, and the 3 comparables were taken within the last 6 months from October 1st. They were from the very same neighborhood where our house is located. All 3 properties are located on Mill Plain Road.
Okay.
And in fact, they're located within half a mile of 896 Mill Plain Road. So the properties that I have chosen are almost exactly comparable to our house. They have similar number of bedrooms and somewhat similar acreage. I have also included the house that sold directly next to us. So basically, one of the comparables is the neighbor right to the right of our house. So we're going to start with a brief description of our house.
Sure.
Our house has 1690 square feet. It has 1-car garage. It was built in 1941. It has 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, and 0.26 acres. So the first comparable I'm going to present is 955 Mill Plain Road. The property sold on July 16th, 2020 for $470,000. So the square footage is almost identical. They're at 1740 square feet, which is just a bit larger than ours. They also have 1.5 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, similar acreage of 0.22. They also have a similarly sized pool, and the property sold for $470,000 on July 16th. Next property is located on 275 Mill Plain Road, again very close to our house. The property also sold in July for $445,000. This property, despite the fact that it's it has 1 more bedroom, but overall it's significantly larger than ours. It has 2,600 square feet, so it's almost 1,000 square feet larger. It has 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 1 more bathroom, and it has significantly more acreage, almost twice as much acreage. It sold in July for $445,000. And the last property I would like to discuss is actually our neighbor's property.
That property sold for $442,000 on March 6, 2020. It has 3 bedrooms, just like ours, and it has 1 more half bath. It has 1 full and 2 half baths. The acres are almost exactly the same, 0.25. That house has 1 more car garage, and it's significantly newer than ours. It was built in 1973. So that property sold for $442,000. So based on these comparables, like we have a house that is newer, we have a house with more, 1 more spot in the garage, we have a house that is 1,000 square feet bigger. I thought it would be fair to go somewhere in the middle. And, what we have here is we have 2 houses at $440,000 and 1 house at $470,000. So I thought if I pick something somewhere in the middle, at $460,000 would be fair. So I can get this with you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I just wanted to ask you one question. I mean, you thank you for telling me you can do your number. You just mentioned in your notes, in your email, about the pool.
Yes.
And you think that your pool is, you said our pool, 608 square feet, is valued at $20,200, which seems to be a mistake.
I don't know. I just saw the big discrepancy between the 2 numbers. It's either our number is wrong or their number is wrong. I don't know which number is wrong.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what their pool is like compared to your pool?
I mean, it's described, I went to the listing, it's described exactly the same.
Okay, all right.
So it's described as in-ground pool, and I can see the square footage. So based on their number, our pool should be valued at approximately $10,000 versus $20,000. So I thought I should bring that up.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Okay. So, this is the process, how the process works from here.
Okay.
All right. What I'll do is I will be meeting with the rest of my board, a majority of the board. All right. And I'll present your petition at a meeting, and we'll deliberate, and we'll come to and vote on it. Okay. What will happen is you'll be notified by mail of our decision within 7 days of that happening, and we're hoping that all of our decisions will be made in March. If your appeal is denied, then you can come back next year. If your appeal is granted, you are granted a reduction, then you would not be able to come back and appeal again at any other time before the next evaluation. But now let me just explain. So we can grant you your full, what you've asked for here, reduction fully or partially.
Okay.
All right. I mean, that's possible. All right. If you're not satisfied with either of those, though, even if you got your full and then you decide that you are not, pleased with it, then you could take it to court. There's that option of appealing in court, and we're going to include instructions on how to go about doing that if you so choose in your decision letter.
Okay.
All right. So if you don't have any other questions for me, then.
I mean, the only question is, like, when you discuss with the board, how do you make the decision? I present my data, and, like, what exactly do you discuss when you make the final decision?
Sure. Well, I mean, exactly that. I mean, I'm going to present the data that you provided to me. I'm going to go look at, these homes, make sure that they seem to be reasonable
In
comparisons, and then we'll make a decision. And, the board, I mean, I'll come in and, provide that information. People will ask me questions. They'll provide some, they'll look at the field cards and everything, and, I'll get a kind of idea, I'll bring up the pool and say, well, why is this being valued at this level when
Okay.
this neighbor's pool
Okay,
is,
yeah, that's,
you know?
that's
So,
fair, yeah.
you know, that's what it is, right?
Okay.
So, all right, well, thank you so much
Perfect.
for coming in,
Thank
all
you
right?
so much.
Good night
Thank
now.
you so much for listening
Oh, you're
to
welcome.
my presentation.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
How we doing?
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Just give me one moment. Take your time. I can get myself organized. Okay. So, all right. So, Mr. Smith, I am Peter Rupert, and we're being recorded here. I'm going to read some things into the record first, and then we'll start the hearing. Okay? Good. So, my name is Peter Rupert. Today is March 15th, 2021. It's approximately 8:21 p.m., and this is an evening hearing session of the Board of Assessment Appeals in Conference Room 2. So as I stated, I'm Peter Rupert. I'm one of 9 board members on the Board of Assessment Appeals, and I'll be hearing your appeal tonight, and just reminding you that it is being recorded. I just will state a few things for the record. Just let me know if anything does not sound right to you. All right, this is appeal number 147. It's for 208 Sturgis Road. The owner is Jeffrey Smith, and the town has valued this property at $959,600, and you are asking for a reduction to $750,000.
Correct.
Okay. And so, Mr. Smith, just to confirm that you're the owner of the property, what I'd like you to do is just state your name for the record and whether you are the owner of 208 Sturgis Road.
Sure. My name is Jeffrey Smith, and I am the owner of 208 Sturgis Road.
Okay. Thanks. And then I just do need to swear you in, so if you put that right hand back up, right? Do you solemnly swear that the information you shall give concerning the assessment appeal now in question shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, great, thanks. So that paper that they provided, just that top line, sign that top line, and I'll retrieve it.
You want me to print the name and sign it as well?
No, I'm signing the bottom.
Okay.
All right,
Do
so
I
you
need-
just need to sign the top. There, yeah, perfect.
Here, while you're up,
Yep.
just say that's for you.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Smith, this is now your opportunity to provide testimony as to why you believe the market value of your home on October 1st, 2020 was $750,000 and not the assigned value by the town. Market value is what your home most likely would have sold for on that date. Please try to be as succinct as possible.
Yes.
I engaged with a local appraiser. His name is Larry Kelly. He's been an appraiser for many years. He lives in Fairfield for many years. And I had him perform an appraisal on my house. And the first thing I would like to discuss is the town, on the field card, they have the breakdown between the land and the dwelling on the appraised value. They have my land appraised at $739,100.
Hold on, is that field card in the?
No, I assume you might have had a copy of it, but I can provide you with the one that I have.
Let me see if I got it. I do actually have it. Yes, I do.
So,
all right, so just let's say that for me again.
The field, according to the field card, the breakdown between the land and the dwelling, the town has the appraised value of the land at $739,100. Were 4 knockdowns or land sales within a reasonable distance of my house, which would suggest that the value of the lot is overstated. The first one is 256 Sturgis Road, which is on my street. It's 3 houses away. It was purchased on October 3rd of 2018 for $535,000 and was subsequently knocked down. The next one is 78 Osborne Lane. I backtrack for 1 second. Sturgis Road is 0.48 acres in an R2 zone. My lot is slightly larger, but it's the same zone. 78 Osborne Lane in Southport sold on December 24th of 2018 for $575,000. It's an R3 zone and it's 0.80 acres. Slightly larger lot than mine. 40 Meadow Ridge closed February 18th of 2020 for $475,000. It was 1.09 acres in a AA zone. And 15 Mill Hill Lane sold on December 27th of 2017 for $600,000, and it was 1.5 acres in a AA zone. The most 2 similar sales would be the one obviously on my street at 256 256 Sturgis and 78 Osborne. So one's a little bit bigger, one's a little bit smaller. If you average the 2, the value would be $555,000. The town has it valued at $739,000. And then I go on to the sales comparison approach, and Mr. Kelly chose 6 comparables. The first one being 198.
Let me get to that.
The first one is 198 Samuel Lane, which is around the corner from my house. Is the pages in order? I'm sorry.
Yep. I just had that was on the second, the last 3. All right. So
that house sold for $755,000 in October of 2020. It was on a smaller lot, and it was on a street with less traffic. Sturgis Road gets a fair amount of traffic heading up towards Greenfield Hill or into Southport. It was a little bit smaller of a house, similar condition, and it had an adjusted value of $767,700. The next comparable was 99 Old Barn Road, sold for $750,000 in February of 2020. It was on a larger lot, and it was a larger home, similar condition. It sold for, it has an adjusted value of $735,200. The third comp is around the corner at 32 Orange Street, sold for $711,000. It's much smaller lot, but a quieter street. It was a newer home, but similar in square footage. It had an adjusted value of $718,200. The next comp was 177 Old Mill Road, which is right around the corner. It sold for $826,000.
I'll just get you up here.
So it closed in April of 19. Larger home, which had been updated, and the appraiser adjusted it for condition. It has an adjusted value of $766,350. Now the next two comparables both closed after October 1st of 2020, but the appraiser included them thinking that there was not a lot of change in the market, and the reason he included both of them is that they're both located on my street. The first sale is 193 Sturgis Road, is directly across the street from mine, sold for $800,000. Similar lot, similar road, obviously, and a larger house. It's approximately 675 square feet larger, and it has a adjusted value of $756,200. The other one on my street was 297 Sturgis Road. That closed for $740,000 in October of 2020. Similar square footage, smaller lot, and it had an adjusted value of $770,150. Now I realize these closed after October 1st, but they were both between October 1st and the end of the year, and not a lot of change in market value. He included them because they're located right on the same street, demonstrating the market value and the travel on the road. And Mr. Kelly estimated the market value of my home as of October 1st, 2020 to be $750,000. And I think a lot of it has to do with, the significant portion of it is the way the value of is attributed to the value of my land. And if you go to what's called the additional comments page of the report, are the 4 land sales that I was referring to.
What's, just tell me what page that?
It says, now would be closer to the, would it be okay to approach? To just show you what I'm talking about?
I'll bring it over to you.
Okay. Here, looks like pages are out of order. Sorry. Okay, thanks. So, okay. And that's pretty much what I have to say. Do you have any questions?
Let me just look at this.
No problem. Take your time. The land sales are all pretty much within a mile as the crow flies.
Mhm. Okay, so I just want to make sure, all right, so that this, I just want to be clear, right, the number that you're asking for is based on this appraisal?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. All right. I don't have any further questions, all right, so let me just explain to you the process. What's going to happen is I'll meet with a majority of our board, and I'll present your petition to them, and we'll, deliberate and then vote. And what will happen is you'll get notified by mail once we've made a decision within 7 days of that decision being made. And we're hoping that everything will be done by the end of March, but I'm thinking it might be April, I mean, it's not, we try to do these by neighborhood, so it could be sooner, when your deliberation of this appeal happens, but I don't really have any control over that. If your appeal is denied, you can come back next year, all right? We could, in fact, grant your appeal in full, all right, your reduction in full or in part. If either way there, you would not be eligible to come back and appeal until the next reevaluation in 5 years. So if we grant you in full or in part, you would then be precluded from, appealing again next year. All right?
That's new.
I mean that's I don't know how new that is, but that is that is how that's been. All right, and then I've only been on this for 2 years.
No, it's just usually in the past, I've known people that have gotten a partial reduction and came back the following year.
Yeah. It might have been, a reval year that they were able to come back,
Yeah, I don't know.
But, the other thing is that if you're dissatisfied with either of those decisions, then you could go to court and appeal in court, and then we're going to send some instructions on how to appeal in court with your decision letter. All right?
Okay.
So if there's nothing further, then we're concluded here.
All right, I thank you for your time.
Thank you.